Good morning, Lily.
Hey, Professor Class, and still a heads up, my camera's
Good.
still not working. I'm gonna have to figure out what's wrong with it.
Isn't that so annoying, Josh?
Yeah, it is. What did I miss in
Yeah.
class yesterday, by the way?
We worked on that worksheet and then we just had time to work on our homework.
Okay, cool.
So, yep. Good morning. All right. So I'm going to put up a warm up for you guys and then we'll share once everybody gets here. So here's the warm up. Can you see my screen? Yeah. So it's an OR probability again. And so see if you can write out the whole probability statement and do the math and come up with your answer. But don't put your answer in the chat yet. Okay. All right. How are you doing on this one? Does everybody have an answer to this one? All right, let's put it in the chat. I don't care if you give me the fraction, the decimal, or the percent. If you give me all three, perfect. I don't care. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. Keep them coming. All right. So if we take a look at these, make sure that, so Matt has them very nicely. He has the fraction, the decimal, and the percent all there. Excellent. And then Tashina wrote out the probability statement just to remind herself of the formula. So that's really nice that you have that. Some of you might not have simplified your fraction, or you made a mistake on the denominator of your fraction. Does anyone need clarification on that? So the answer to that should be 13 over 52 plus, sorry, 12 over 52 plus 13 over 52 minus 3 over 52, which is 22 over 52, or 11 over 26, which is 0.4231 or 42.3. Anyone need that explained further? Are you okay? Do you see where you made your mistake? If you made one. All right. Yeah, Matt, awesome. Great job. It is a good day. I agree. I agree. Okay. So that was a reminder of our OR probability. Let's share stuff. Anyone have something to share? Good, bad, something you're looking forward to, something you wish would not happen, anything at all. What do you guys want to share?
I got a new laptop.
That's
which is
awesome.
Great because Zoom didn't take 5 minutes to launch this time.
Nice.
Like yesterday, mine crashed completely.
What kind did you get?
I got a HP Omen.
Oh, fancy.
It murdered my bank account, but it's worth it.
There you go. All right, good. Anything else?
My heat or my AC is broken in like our game room, I guess, and so it's like 85 degrees in there, and that's like where my like PC is. So I'm just there playing video games, sweating my ass off.
Yeah, and you might want to do something so your PC doesn't overheat too, right?
Yeah, maybe.
You don't want that room to get very hot, right?
Right.
So be careful. You might need to move your PC. I'm just saying. I don't know how hot it's supposed to be today.
I think it should be fine. It's HP Omen too, actually. It should be okay.
Nice. Anyone else? Anyone super excited for the semester just to be done? Yeah, see? I feel you. I got you. We got a lot going on. So we just got to keep working through it, right? We'll get it finished. but you don't want, you've come so far, you don't want to not finish now, right? So make sure you finish because you don't want to have to start over. Okay. Anything else? Anybody doing anything this weekend for fun? No. All right. So I do want to share something, but it's not very exciting. I mean, it's exciting for me because it's about our class, but maybe not exciting for you. I published next week already. So week 12 is already up. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Week 12 is up. I put it up because I think some of you are waiting till the last minute to get things done, and that's not a good strategy for you. So you might want to start working ahead, getting some of the smaller assignments out of the way, or starting to study sooner for the quiz that's going to be next week. Okay. So all of that's already up. You can work on any of it in advance that you want, except the quiz. The quiz only opens, you know, at a certain time. So let's talk about that because I want to show you something. So I'm in week 12 in this new module. Let me see if I can just look at the module in general first. I don't know why that did that, but that was weird. Nope, not where I wanted to go. Okay, so if you look at week 12, so I'll have slides. You'll have, oh, I didn't change that date yet. I will though. So on your mini lesson for PC7 and your reading quiz, it says they're due April 7th, but that doesn't make any sense because that's today, right? So it would be due Sunday. So I'll change that date right now. That would be the 11th. Okay, so the mini lesson and the quiz, the reading quiz, will both be due on Sunday. So you don't have to wait until Sunday afternoon to start that, right? You can do that whenever you have time before that date. So that might be nice to get those two assignments out of the way. Then you're going to have practice. Oh, that date is wrong too. That's annoying. For some reason, my app didn't update. So the PC7 combination practice, that will be due on Tuesday the 13th. And I'm changing those right now. So you have those corrected in your assignment. And so again, you could start work on those. Once you watch the mini lesson, you're good. We'll still spend time in class on it, but sometimes it's nice to see it more than once. And some of you wait until it's almost due, and then you're emailing me at like 10 or 10:30 at night to get help on an assignment that's due at 11:59. That's not going to happen, right? I'm not sitting there waiting breathlessly for you to email me. Okay, I'm actually probably in bed. Okay. So you do have tutoring that's available to you 24/7, right, on the computer. So if you send me a message and I don't respond and it's 11 o'clock at night, you should probably use that online brain fuse tutoring so you can get your homework done. Okay. So this is what I want to show you. Oh, you also have your quiz next week. So you'll have an info on taking the quiz that you can fill out anytime. Some of you forget to do that as well. Then the quiz will open on Thursday. What's the date of Thursday? April 15th, I think. Does that sound right? Yep. Thursday, April 15th, the quiz will open at 9 a.m. We will not have class on that Thursday. You can take the quiz anytime on Thursday or anytime on Friday until 11:59 p.m. You will have an hour to take the quiz, right? And then you have 15 minutes to upload your work. Now, some of you are kind of slacking off on uploading your work, so make sure you upload your work. And I did put a new little disclaimer. If you don't upload your work and show me your work on every problem, I can change your score to a 0. So don't let that happen. Make sure you upload that work, right? Because it's important that I see it. Then the other thing that we have is we have something new called a probability video review discussion board. And what it's going to be is you have your same review that you'll have for each quiz. So you should complete the whole review. But there's an extra thing that I'm asking you to do. And the extra thing that I'm asking you to do is you are going to make a video solving one problem. Yes? And the problem is chosen for you. So if you click on that one that says 1030, because you're in my 1030 class, it's going to bring up a document. Here's the document. So you'll see your name by a question. So for example, Judith gets to do that very first question. Okay, you don't have to do all the problems in the table, just that first question that you're making a video on. Yeah, and then Annie's doing the second one, Zevi's doing the third one, V's doing the last one in that table. So that's the only one you have to make a video explanation on. Then 2A is Danessa, 2B is Lily, 3A is Matt, 3B is Ruki, 4 is Josh, and then we get down to PC6, and in PC6, which is what we're starting today, Lee is number 1, Zach is number 2, and then in PC7, Brady is number 3, and Tashina is number 4. And that's our whole review. It worked out perfectly. There were 13 little boxes. There's 13 of you. So very nice. So you're going to make a video just explaining that one problem. Okay. Now you should do the rest of the problem too, because that's how you study for the test. But you only have to make a video of one of them. The nice thing is my other class is doing this same assignment and they're attached to you guys. So let's say someone forgets to do their problem, right? They don't post their video. Somebody from my other class will make a video for that same problem. So you should still have a video for every single problem. Okay. And the other part of this assignment is after you make your video, watch other videos and comment on at least 2 other videos. And your comment might be, I really like the way you did that. I got the exact same answer you did. Or you might say, ooh, I'm not sure you showed all your work, right? Make sure you show all your work, or your rounding was to the wrong place or something. Or you might say, oh, I got a totally different answer than you. I'm not sure who's right, but this is the answer I got. Okay. So you have to comment to 2 other students in the class. And so you'll be graded on your video and your comments to your other students. So if you're wondering how to make a video, most of you know how to make a video. So you can make a video on whatever your device, put it on your computer so you can upload it to Canvas. Or you can record it right here in Canvas on your discussion board. There's a button, it's a little icon that looks just like that with a little arrow with music buttons right there. If you click it and you just click record, it'll bring up your camera right there and you can record it right then. So I made one for you so you can see. You can't hear it right now because I don't have it hooked up to the sound. There is sound, just so you know. And make sure you preview your video and you make sure the sound comes through. But my video is like a minute. Yours would probably be about a minute. So here's me holding up my solution. Do you see how that was kind of glary, but then I turned it so you could see it? So if you want to do it on a whiteboard, you totally can. Just make sure we can see it and you don't do this. Like, so somebody can't figure out what you're doing, right? Hold it up, make sure we can see it. If you want to use paper, you can. You can also attach your work, okay? But you have to make a video. Any questions on that? So why am I changing this? Why am I making you make a video? Any ideas?
I'm guessing we all didn't do too hot on that quiz.
Well, some people did fine. It's just, I'm not sure that some of you are taking advantage of the review in the way that you need to. And so I need you to, and sometimes my explanation is not helping you, I can tell. And so hearing it from another student might make it make more sense. Okay, so it's not a punishment, right? It's trying to get you to explain more, because if you can explain it, you'll probably get that question right on the test, right? So that's the idea. And you'll also be able to hear from your peers on that. Now, if you're worried, you're like, oh my gosh, my problem's going to be wrong and I'm going to look like a moron, right, on my video. First of all, whatever, right? Like, are you ever going to see these people again? Probably not. Second of all, you can take your problem to the tutoring center, right? You can work with a tutor on your problem. So that's totally fine because it's just on the review. You can also come visit me and see if your answer is correct. Now, what you can't do is just say, I don't know how to do my problem. Because that means you put in zero effort, right? You need to have some idea of what you're doing. And then I'm happy to help you along with it. Does that make sense? Okay, so you can do that anytime. Like, for example, those of you that had any of the problems except for, I think it was Tashina and Brady who were last, right? Tashina and Brady were the last two problems on the review. So that's PC7, and we haven't gone over that yet, and we won't have gone over it until Monday, okay? But you could watch a video or come talk to me about it. But everybody else, by the end of the day today or tomorrow, we'll have covered your material. So you could start on those anytime you want on your video, right? There's no worries, okay? But Brady and Tashina, since yours doesn't start till Monday, if you have questions, just ask me personally. I don't think you'll really have a problem with it. By Sunday night, you'll watch your mini lesson and do your textbook reading, so you'll be fine. This assignment is due Tuesday night, okay? So all the videos will be up by Tuesday night at midnight. That means Wednesday, you can watch all these videos, right? Again and again and again. You can send me messages. You can say, what in the heck is going on? I'm not sure I understand. I'll also make sure you have the probability review key on Wednesday, the day before your quiz. Okay? Excellent. Any questions on that? All right, I know you're so excited. Is anyone excited about making their video? Brady is shaking his head. Yes, I can see it. Yep. Brady and Tashina are right there. They would like to do more than one video. I can see it on their faces. Yep. You can make your video however you want. Like, if you want to put a stuffed animal explaining it, I don't care. If you want to make it your dog talking, I don't care, right? Puppets, fine, Brady. I'm into puppets. I don't care. Just make it appropriate, right? Like, don't make it questionable for me where I have to turn it off really quickly, right? Okay, so yeah, make it fun for you. Literally, it'll be less than 2 minutes long, I'm sure. Okay, so, but I would not wait until Tuesday night at 10 p.m. to start your video, because you know that's when you'll have technology problems, right? So don't wait till then. Okay, it'd be a great idea to get it done over the weekend, right? And I know Brady and Tashina are like you just said, we don't know our material yet. It's okay. You'll be fine. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the basic counting principle and permutations. So permutations sound scary, or at least to me it did when I first heard it. It's not. So just bear with me. It's really just the basic counting principle. That's really all it is. So I'm going to put two things in the chat. The first thing I'm going to put in the chat is the new calculator that we're not even going to use today. If you want to use it on your homework, you totally can. We'll talk about what the calculator's for and why we use it. We'll talk more about it tomorrow after we've spent a day understanding things, okay? But I will put it in the chat for you. Okay, so here's the new calculator, and I'll pull this up in just a second too. Then the second thing I'm going to put in there is our handout for today. Make sure it's the right one. Okay. All right. So first, the calculator. All right. I couldn't figure out where my Zoom went for a minute, but it was back. Okay. So the calculator. There it is. Okay, the new calculator looks like this. I can make it a little bit bigger. It's called Factorial Combination and Permutation Calculator. That's so you didn't have to buy a special calculator, okay? So we made this one for you. If you have a graphing calculator, I can show you how to access it, or you might even see it in some of the videos on more, but you don't really need it anymore, okay? Because, oh, get it anymore, just funny. Okay, because we made this calculator for you. Because I was like, why would a student want to buy a graphing calculator if they're taking one math class and that's it? Yeah, it sounds like a waste of time. So this calculator will be available to you. Now, you might not know what any of these things are yet, like N and R and N factorial and NPR and NCR. That's fine. We're going to talk about all of them tomorrow, okay? So N is the number of items we're choosing from. R is the number of items we're choosing. N factorial, we'll talk about what that means and why you would ever need it. And then NPR is for permutations and NCR is for combinations. But here's the good news. You can do all this math without this calculator. I promise you. If you like the calculator, you can totally use it, right? Might be a way you can double check, but it's not something that's going to make or break your grade on this assignment, okay? So no worries there. But it will be available even in the test. Now, the other thing is the worksheet for today. The worksheet for today should look like this, or at least the first part of the worksheet. Why is it saying I have to sign in? That sounds dumb. I don't want to sign in. Okay, I'll show you the handout in a different way, but this is what it looks like. I did put it in the chat, right? So this is what the handout looks like. Looks like this. Yes? With a pizza place as your first question. Is that the one I put in the chat? I hope. Okay, good. Because in the last class, I put the wrong one in the chat. Not helpful. Okay. So let's talk about what the basic counting rule is. So sometimes you're going to choose one item from each of two separate categories, and they just give a random letter. They say, okay, there's M number of items in the first category and N number of items in the second category. So if we're trying to figure out how many choices there are, it's M times N. Have you ever thought about that when you go to a restaurant? So you go to a restaurant and you get to pick maybe Panda Express. Does anyone like Panda? Okay, so you go to Panda Express and you pick your main entree, and then you get to pick your sides, right? Or you can pick for Chipotle. I got some frowny faces from Panda. Maybe Chipotle. So the first thing they ask you at Chipotle, right, after they know what you're getting, if you're getting a bowl, a salad, or whatever, then they ask you, do you want brown or white rice, right? And then they ask you black beans or regular beans. I don't know what they call their other beans because I always get black beans, just so you know. So those things, that's what we're talking about. You only get to pick one unless you're real greedy at Chipotle and you're like, can I have both kinds of beans? You ever do that? You can, by the way. They don't get mad. I know this because my vegetarian always gets both kinds of beans because she doesn't like their tofu, right? So she doesn't get their, I don't even know what is it called, sofritas. She doesn't like that. So she just gets both beans. I know you don't care, but I'm just saying, this is real life we're talking about here. Okay, these choices are imperative. Okay, so if you have to choose one thing from each category, to find out how many total choices you have or ways you can do it, you just multiply those two together. Okay, that's all this formula is saying. So, oh my gosh, I looked at Hungry Howie's menu the other day. Does anyone know that pizza place? Okay, by the way, I did not order pizza from there, just in case you were worried for my health. I did not order pizza from there, but just their menu was overwhelming. And it reminded me of this problem. By the way, that pizza looks disgusting. Can you see it in that picture? You're welcome. Okay, that's why I put that picture there. So a pizza place has 4 different sizes. That doesn't sound too out of control, right? You can have small, medium, large, extra large. That sounds normal. Okay, this is the part I feel is out of control. 12 different flavors for the crust. Yeah, the crust. You heard me right. Hungry Howie's has, I don't know if there's 12, but there's a lot of them. Yeah, don't go, Judith. I'm not promoting them. I didn't even order pizza from there. So they have like original, thin, butter flavored, garlic butter, garlic herb, urban butter, right? All these, I don't even know any of the rest of them. Oh, ranch is the best. Okay, never ordered it. Yeah, mellow mushroom, I would do it. Oh, Lee is saying that Hungry Howie's. I couldn't even get through their online app, just so you know, Lee. Maybe if I paid more attention, I could do it, but I couldn't do it. It was overwhelming. Maybe I was super hungry at the time.
It's
And
people love it in the north. It's like it's like everyone's favorite pizza place in the north.
I'm not sure it's high quality pizza, is it?
It's not high quality, but it's usually what you have that isn't Domino's or Little Caesars. So everyone's like, damn, the cheesy bread is the best thing ever. Just the
Okay,
cheesy
well, there
bread
you
is the
go.
cream.
There is a plug for Hungry Howie's. I think Tashina and Lee both would eat Hungry Howie's. So there you go. I just couldn't get through their online app. So there you are. Okay, and then 10 different toppings. 10 different toppings sounds normal to me, right? So you can have pepperoni, you can have, I don't know, green peppers, onions, black olives, sausage, ham, whatever, right? 10 I could come up with for that. I'm not sure I could come up with 10 crusts. 12. I don't know who wrote this problem. But here is the question. How many, and this is a really important part of it, one topping pizzas can be ordered? So you don't get to pick like pepperoni and sausage. You're just picking one topping, okay? Because whatever, they're having a good deal. Okay, so that basic counting principle applies here. We just have three things that we're choosing. So the first thing we're choosing is the size of the pizza. Then we're choosing the flavor of the crust. Then we're picking the topping. So we have 4 different choices for the size. We have 12 different flavors to choose from, and we have 10 different toppings to choose from. And we're going to multiply all of those together because that's what the basic counting principle is. So if we multiply 4 times 2 times 10, what do we get? Oh my gosh, Zevi, look at you, fast on the calculator. There are 480 different one-topping pizzas we can order. That seems like a lot, right? But you have to remember they're counting these as different one-topping pizzas. If you get a small original pepperoni, that's different than a medium original pepperoni, and that's different than a large original pepperoni, and that's different than an extra large original pepperoni. Does that make sense? So once you count in all those, you could see how it would get up to 480. All right, so just in case you need me to zoom in on that, do you see there's eggs on those that pizza? Yeah, just so you know. I just wanted
I think
to
that's a
show you that.
Brazilian pizza.
Oh my gosh, Lee is like the pizza connoisseur right here, let me tell you. All right, and I love the conversations that are going on in the chat, by the way. Papa John's, my son hates Papa John's. Like if we order Papa John's, he won't even eat it. Yeah, oh, and Yuda lived in Brazil. I'm not sure they would eat this kind of pizza in Brazil though. I'm just saying.
It's like a weird delicacy where they put like a bunch of different toppings on top of like a normal pizza. Like there's one on jelly beans, chicken, like a whole rotisserie chicken. And it's like a really common thing to do in Brazil. And it's disgusting.
Okay, well, to each his own, whatever, right? I don't care. What I won't like, somebody else will like it. Okay, so now you know how it works. I want you to think about this one. So have you ever thought about license plates? So this is specific to a country where you have to have a number first. So do you see that? You have to have one number. Oh, hello. You have to have one number. Then you have 2 letters. Then you have 4 numbers. And it says how many different standard plates are possible. Now, it makes an important distinction here. It says assume that repetitions of letters and numbers are allowed. So it's okay to have the same letter or the same number repeated. When I do these problems, I draw lines for what it is. So this is a number. By the way, that didn't always mean hashtag. It actually meant number a long time ago. Just so you know that symbol. Okay, so that's a number. Then we have 2 letters. So these 2 are letters. And then we have 4 numbers. So think about what number you would put in each one of these slots, okay, to solve this problem. I'll give you about 30 seconds to think that through. All right. Anyone have an idea of what you would put in there? Like for that first slot, we have to pick a number. How many number choices do we have?
The number
10.
of steps required.
Yeah, we have 10 number choices. Does everybody know why it would be 10 different choices there? Because we have the digits 0 through 9, and 0 through 9 is 10 digits. Okay, so we're going to put a 10 here, which would also mean that there's 10s in all of these too, right? Because those are all numbers as well. And we can repeat them, so it didn't matter, right? If they told us we couldn't repeat them, then we'd have to think differently, right? Okay, now how about the letters? How many letter choices do we have?
26.
Nice, 26. And since we can repeat, we can put the same letter for each one. So we're not going to change that. It's going to be 26. And the basic counting principle says, I'm just going to multiply all those. What do you get when you multiply all those? I'm telling you, some of you are quick on those calculators. So 67,600,000. Now, some of you forget to put these commas in here. They're kind of important because it'll help you with place value and knowing what the place value is. So every 3 from the right, you put a comma in there, okay? And I know that that is not internationally true. In other countries, they don't use a comma in between there. They might use a period in between there. So I know if your notation is different in a different country, I'm not going to mark you wrong on that, just so you know, but the computer might, right? So be careful. Okay, any questions on that problem? All right, now you have 2 problems to work on, right? The next 2 problems, I want you to try them. And if you want to keep going, you can. I'm going to put you in your breakout rooms, not for too long though. And I'm going to bring you back in a few minutes after you have a chance to do these 2 problems, okay? All right, so let me get these going. All right, so try those 2 and I'll bring you back in a few minutes. If you want to keep going, you can. I know I didn't get to visit all of you, but it seemed like the rooms that I went to visit were done or close to done and all kind of had the same questions. So I figured we'll go over that together. I'm just waiting for the other groups to come back. All right, everybody's back. Hooray! So I didn't come visit you all, but I'm sure you were all doing great work. I came to visit a couple of you. Let's go over some of these answers, and then we're going to go over a concern that probably a lot of you ran into on that last question. Okay, so on the tie, the boy who has 2 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, 8 ties, and 2 jackets, did you get 96 outfits? Nice. Now you have to remember that really it's a new outfit if he just changed his tie, right? Yeah. Which, did anyone go to a school with uniform in high school? Yeah, you really don't usually, if you go to a school with uniforms, you really don't usually have 5 of the school blazers. You know, you might only have 2 of the school blazers, and so you have to wear those every single day, but maybe they let you have a variety of ties. Right? So kids in uniforms understand this pain, right? Right here. Did anyone watch that old show that used to be on called What Not to Wear? Did anyone watch that show? Yeah, that's like this, right? They pull out this rack at the end and they're like, this person has 720 outfits. And you're like, really? I don't believe you, because there's like 4 skirts there. And then they're like, and 2 scarves. Yeah, so if I change the scarf, now it's a new outfit? I don't think so. Or if I change my shoes, now it's a new outfit. So that show was funny, by the way. But that's what they were using. They were using this basic counting principle. Isn't that funny? Yeah, okay. And then when the license plate won, did you get 17,576,000 license plates? Nice, excellent. Okay, did anyone get to this true false test? I know at least one group did. Yeah. Did you ever think about that? Like, I'm not going to read the questions. I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to go true, false, false, true, false, true, false, whatever, whatever. So if you just guess randomly, you didn't think about it, there would be a total of 8,192 ways to answer that test. Yeah? Now, I want you to think about that. So if you're just guessing, there's only one way to get the quiz right? To get all the questions right. So your probability of getting 100% on the quiz, if you only guess, is 1 out of 8,192. So don't guess. That's my point, right? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. This last one was the one that was a little bit odd, and some of you freaked out a little bit. Yes? Okay. Tell me, did you get something weird like this on your calculator? Did something strange happen on your calculator? Now, why am I using 52 instead of 26?
26 lowercase letters and 26 uppercase letter.
Yeah, so when it says right here, lowercase and uppercase, but I can repeat them. So if I take 26 plus 26, I get 52. That's basically saying that this and this are different. And if you've ever typed your password in wrong because your caps lock was on, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now, right? You're typing it in and you're like, I've typed it right, and it keeps saying it's wrong. And then you look down and you're like, oh, my caps lock is on. Oops, right? Because the computer is reading those as different characters. Okay, that's called case sensitive. It matters if you put in an uppercase or a lowercase. So that's why it's 52 instead of 26. So just in case you made that mistake. And then did anyone have this happen on their calculator where it said 14455551059 E17? Yeah, or if you use the Desmos calculator, it might have said times 10 to the 17th like this. Yeah. So what that is that scientific notation. Does that sound familiar? Scientific notation. So what it's saying is this is such a big number, your calculator can't fit it. So your calculator puts it in scientific notation. So what it means mathematically is either way, if it's E17 or 10 to the 17th, do you notice they both have a 17 there? It says multiply that number times 10 to that power, which really shifts your place value 17 places to the right. So let's look at what that number would be. I'm going to write all these digits down. 1.4455555. 1059. And then I'm going to move this 17 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I have to go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I have to put a bunch of zeros in here. So let me write that number again so you can see it. 144, 555, 5, 105, 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I looked at place value, holy bajoli, look how big that number is, right? So this would be right here, would be millions. So it's bigger than the millions, right? What is this, like billions? And this is like trillions. What's after trillions?
Is it quintillion?
Yeah, it sounds right to me, Brady. I don't know. I don't want to look it up right now, but it sounds big, right? Yeah.
Quadtillion, I think, and then quintillion.
Quadrillion, yeah.
I learned
yeah,
that from
quad.
venture capitalists.
I
Quad's
bet
4,
quad,
quint's
right.
5.
Yeah, quad and then quint. You're right, Matt. Good job. Okay, so can you imagine how large this is? So that's why your calculator gave this as an error, okay? So if that happens to you on your calculator, on decimals, it doesn't happen very often. On your calculator, it won't happen very often. If it happens in more, you can shift your place value and write it in, but on your test, I haven't included any that won't fit in your calculator. So this won't happen to you on your test, okay? So good job. Everybody finished? And everybody got them right? Did anyone have a question on any of those? Or did I now answer it with my little calculator question there? Nice. Okay. Now, I'm going to read you this definition of permutations and tell me what you think. If we're asked to choose one item from each of two separate categories where there are m items in the first category and n items in the second category, then the total number of available choices is m times n. Sometimes we call it the multiplication rule for probabilities. Does that sound familiar to you? Doesn't it sound exactly like what I said up here for the basic counting rule? So they're the same thing. Why do they come up with that annoying word, permutations? That seems annoying. So we already learned permutations. Sometimes they look a tiny bit different, but not often. So look at this one. How many three-letter, do you notice I say words in quotes there, can be made from 4 letters, F, G, H, I, if repetition is allowed and repetition is not allowed. So this is our first introduction to if we can repeat it or we cannot, which we kind of talked about when we talked about card probability before, right? Dependent events where we didn't put the card back in the deck. So it's kind of like the same idea, but now we're counting how many ways. Now, when they say words, they don't really mean words. What they mean is just letter groupings. Because if I pick F, G, and H, that's not really a word, is it? But it is a way to put those 3 letters together out of those 4. So that's why that words is in quotes there. So if repetition is allowed, I'm going to put 3 lines here. Do you notice I keep drawing these lines and then filling them in? I think that's a really helpful strategy all the way through this, whether we're doing permutations, basic counting rule, or combinations, because it's going to help you make sense of what we're doing. So I have 4 letters to pick from. So if I can repeat, I have 4 choices for the first one, right? I have 4 choices for the second one and 4 choices for the third one. Do you agree? So there must be 64 words I can make. And I'll just say 64 3-letter groupings I can make out of those 4 letters to choose from. Now, how does that change if I can't repeat? How does that change on this one? Tashina?
It'll go 4, 3, and then 2 because you have to take away, I think.
Very nice, because whatever you picked for the first letter, you can't pick it again. So instead of 4 choices for the first one, you only have 3 choices for the second one, and you only have 2 choices for the third one. Make sense? So 4 times 3 times 2, we get 24. Now, it should make sense that we make way fewer different 3-letter groupings if we can't repeat than if we can repeat. Yeah? All right. You try these and we'll just do a 3, 2, 1 chat. So let's do part A. So now we want to make 4-letter words and we're choosing from these 6 letters. Let's just do if repetition is allowed. Okay, did you do part A? You have an answer? All right, let's try it. 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. A lot of us got the same answer. So where did you get 1296 from? What did you do? Oops.
4, 6, 4 times.
Yeah, you did 6 times 6 times
Yeah.
6 times 6. Excellent. So, and on your calculators, you can do 6 to the 4th power, right? And I think you guys figured that out. Did you figure that out on your calculators? Does anyone need help? Like when you did that 2 to the 13th, did you get lost counting your 2's? Because if you just use your exponent button, it's very helpful. And Danessa, I'm guessing you did 6 6s instead of 4. Am I right? Okay, so just make sure you stop after 4 if it says 4-letter words. That's a very common mistake. And I could tell by your number that's what happened. Okay, how about if we can't repeat? If we can't repeat, what is that number going to be? Try that one. What if it can't repeat? There we go. Nobody wants to wait for my 3, 2, 1s. You're like, you take too long. I'm just going to put the answer in. That's fine. Hurry me along. I know there's a little go faster button. Love it. Okay, so 360 because you did 6 times 5 times 4 times 3, right? Which would be 360. Notice this is a lot smaller than this one, right? Because we can't repeat. Excellent. Any questions on those? I might be going too fast for some of you, but I know I'm going too slow for some of you. Let me know. Okay. This is one of my favorite questions because you actually have to think, and that's the part you guys don't like to do sometimes. So if we read this question, a pianist plans to play 4 pieces at a recital. In how many ways can she arrange these pieces in the program? So in other words, somebody's asking her for the order of her songs so they can print the program, right? So you're going to think of how many ways she could arrange them. And I want you to think of that through. And I'll give you a few seconds. Don't put it in the chat yet because I don't want you to give it away to somebody else. So think about it and then we'll talk about it. Okay, anyone have an idea? If you wrote it in the chat, we can do 3, 2, 1 if you want, but I didn't, some of them might need that. So what do you guys think? Any ideas on how to do this problem?
Can I same answer?
What answer did you get?
I got 24. 24
And
different ways.
can you tell me why you got 24, Matt?
Well, I just did 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. This is my best
And-
guess.
Why did you not do 4 times 4 times 4 times 4?
Well, I actually did the first time, but it seemed way too high. I did 4 to the 4th, and so I thought this would probably be the right way because it seemed more believable.
Anyone else believe the 24 ways? Yeah, do you know why it's not 4 to the 4th power besides it just seems too high?
I figured that because she's a pianist, she wouldn't want to repeat the same piece over and over and over again.
Exactly. So repetition is not allowed, but it doesn't say that in the problem, right? I want you to think about it. If you're going to a piano concert, right, and you read the program and it's like etude in G minor for 1, and etude in G minor for piece 2, and etude in G minor for piece 3, and etude in G minor for piece 4. Are you going to stay for that concert? Why would she play the same 4 songs over and over and over again, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. So it's implied that you can't repeat these. Is that kind of tricky? Yeah, so sometimes they're not real specific, right? They just say they're ordering these pieces in a program. So Matt, good job on thinking of reasonableness, and Lee coming up with an amazing explanation. Now, Lily put something in the chat. Does everybody see that 4 and that exclamation point in the chat? So 4 and the exclamation point. That symbol means factorial. And that was on that calculator that I showed you that we're going to use tomorrow. And what that does is it takes the number that you are starting with, like the 4, and then it multiplies by each number 1 less than it until it gets to 1. Okay, so 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If it said 7 factorial, that would be 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that button is very helpful as long as you're going all the way down to 1. Okay, don't hit it unless you're going all the way down to 1. Good job, Lily. Oh, she didn't put it in the chat to all of you, just to me. So sorry, I just shared it with the world. Good job, Lily. Yeah, be careful what you put in the private chat to me, apparently. Okay, I'll try to be better. Okay, the last one, I want you to think about this one because again, it doesn't say, okay? It says a little bit. So in how many ways can first, second, and third prizes be awarded in a contest if there's 210 contestants? So there's first prize, second prize, and third prize. And it does say a contestant can only win 1 prize. So you can't be in first place, second place, and third place, right? Or first prize, second prize, and third prize. So think about that one. Anyone have an idea on this one? Take a stab at it. Anyone, tell me what you're thinking.
A repetition is not allowed, I think.
So do you agree with Ruki that she doesn't think repetition is allowed? I
Not
agree.
allowed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not allowed because you can only win either first, second, or third. Now, what did you multiply for those 3?
Two 10, no. First, second, third, 210.
You want to put 210 on all of them?
11, 210, 29, 28. 200.
There you go. How many of you agree with what Ruki is explaining? 210 times 209 times 208. Excellent. So you would get 9,129,120 ways that first, second, and third can be awarded. That's a lot of ways, right? Okay, so just so you know what's happening, we're not going to do this last example. You have a worksheet that we are not working on in class. Does everybody understand what I just said? We have a worksheet we are not working on in class. It is an assignment on Canvas. It's due by tomorrow night, okay? By tomorrow night, and every single person is going to turn one in and show all their work. Yes? Excellent. So then I can give you feedback and make sure you know what you're doing before you take the quiz, right? Next week. Now, that being said, you have that handout that you're going to finish by tomorrow night. You have more practice that's going to be due on Friday. I think I changed that due date. If I didn't, I will make sure I did. And then you have a reading quiz and a mini lesson due by Sunday. Yes? But remember, you also have all your assignments are wide open for you for the rest of this unit. So you can work on them whenever it's convenient for you. So I'm trying to give you a little more time because some of you might have been strapped for time on certain nights. Okay, so there's your exit ticket. Try it. Great work today. I can't wait to see your videos. I'm so excited. And I'll see you tomorrow. Stay here if you have a question.